Today we're going to take a look at this RC excavator, the Huina 1580, and we're going to put it through the test. This is a 1/14 scale truck and trailer, and the excavator is also 1/14 scale. Now, not everybody wants to spend thousands of dollars on an excavator, but they want something that looks good. And this RC excavator definitely looks good, and we're going to see if it works good too. The excavator has sound, and you know what? It can be a little annoying while we're watching the video here, so I did turn that off, and we're going to walk this excavator up the hill here, and we're going to dig some dirt with it. Did a real nice job coming off the truck. The speed is proportional in the drive, which is really nice. We can work the tracks nice and slow and get to the spot where we want to dig. See how much digging power this excavator has? I did loosen up the dirt, but it does dig right into the dirt pretty good. Got a nice big bucket full of dirt. Has great digging power. This excavator, at the time of this video, sells for $560. And it seems to work really good. So if I was looking for an excavator to put it behind my truck and one that works really well, this is one right here. This I would consider being a hobby grade RC. I did have this apart, and although it doesn't have hobby grade electronics inside it, has more of like toy grade electronics, although the rest of the machine is built like a hobby grade unit. And the power that I'm noticing with the excavator is equal to some of the other excavators that I used already that are electric. This is an electric excavator. It's not hydraulic. Has electric actuators. They all seem very tough that I can tell so far. This is definitely not for kids because the attachments that I tried already on this excavator are quite dangerous for kids. This would be for a young adult or anybody, really an adult, who collects die casts, somebody looking to add something to their RC construction. They're looking for maybe a mid-grade excavator. This is perfect right here. Okay, let's see if we can get this excavator loaded back up on the trailer again. We've been running this machine for about a half an hour now. It seems like we still got plenty of battery left. You know, stick around for the rest of the video. I'll show you what the unboxing was like. And we got a cool attachment that really surprised me. I couldn't believe how good this thing worked. All right, you guys had a chance to see what the Huina 1580 was like in action. Now I'm going to show you what it was like to unbox the excavator. Comes in this really nice case, got latches right on top of the case. Flip open the latches just like that. Fold down the front. Be careful because we got the excavator right inside. Now we'll get the excavator out of the box so you can see it up close, but you got to be careful not to rip off the wires on the boom when lifting it out of the box. The best way probably to get this out of the box is to slide it out because it weighs about 25 pounds. It's pretty heavy and we don't want to wreck anything. I got to tell you guys, when lifting this out of the box, first impressions mean everything, and this really does look good. Looks very detailed, looks just like the real thing. If we flip open the latches on this side here and flip down the lid, you got to be careful because inside this side, you'll have your extra attachments for the excavator, some extra parts, some more attachments. We'll go over that in just a minute. And you have your radio and owner's manual. And this is all the extra stuff that you get with the excavator. First thing we'll need to do is put the 4 AA batteries inside the transmitter, and you can do that by opening up this door right here by unscrewing this screw with the screwdriver that comes with inside the box. With your excavator, you will get a USB charger and a lithium-ion battery. It's a 7.4 volt, 2000 milliamp hour battery. It says to only charge this battery with this charger. You'll plug it in just like that. Plug this end here into a USB connection, and it says it takes about 4 to 7 hours to charge. Right on top of the excavator is this latch right here. You turn it to the side just like that. Lift up this lid, and that's where you'll find the connection. That's where you plug the battery in. The body of the excavator is made of die-cast metal, along with the boom and the dipper arm and the bucket. The bucket feels a little loose right now. I think that'll tighten up once we get the quick coupler on there. The cylinders may be made of plastic, but the shafts coming out are definitely made of metal. And the hoses are actually wires going to the actuators. When I first got the excavator, I didn't think that this door opened up because I tried pulling on the handle, it wouldn't open. Although I did see the hinges on the door, so I figured it had to open somehow. You have to turn the handle right here on the door. There is a latch on the door, and then you can open up the door like that and see the detail inside the cab. Tracks are made of metal. They're also spring-loaded. You can see how it works on the front of the drive system, and the gears are also made of metal. The only thing that I can see that's not made of metal is maybe the doors, the top of the cab, and the guards going around the cab. Switch on the top right for sound. The switch on the top left is for lights. I'm really impressed with the movement of the excavator. It's fast enough to look like the real thing, and you'll notice that you can spin the house in 360 degrees, and there's nothing stopping that from going all the way around, just like the real thing. That looks good. The boom has fast enough movements, and it seems strong enough. The dipper arm extends really nice, and the bucket seems fast enough too. Another thing I like about this excavator, the track controls are right on top of the transmitter with these dials up top, but they seem proportional. So if you move it just a little bit, it just moves the track a little bit. Really nice when you got to inch up to that spot where you're going to be digging. But yet seems fast enough to go wherever you want to go. Okay, we got all the attachments laid out in front of us here. We're going to hook up this quick coupler. That'll connect right onto the dipper arm. We'll hook up the bucket, the hammer, this claw, this grapple here, and this other grapple, and see how they all work. And you will need to pull the pins out of the bucket in order to hook up the quick coupler. We're going to do that using a lug wrench and this Phillips head screwdriver. We'll find out that all the attachments use the same pins, one round pin, one square pin, and on top of the quick coupler here, you will see this release pin right here. Pull that to release the attachments. This is what it looks like with the quick coupler all attached, and it has this release pin right on top. I did try the bucket with the quick coupler, and it just don't work, guys. These pins here are just too close together. So when you try to attach this to the quick coupler, you can get it to just barely attach like that, except for it won't hang on because the quick coupler can't lock into place and the bucket falls right off. So that's kind of a problem because I like to use the quick coupler with all my attachments. Now we're going to try the hammer attachment with the quick coupler and see how that works. Looks like it stays connected to the quick coupler really good, and we also have enough room for our wire. Okay, now we are going to try something really cool. We're going to see if this hammer here will break up some of this ice. You know, this does take a lot of practice to do. We'll see how I do with it. I'm going to put some pressure down on whatever it is you're trying to break. Oh, yeah. That worked pretty good. It went right through it, no problem. Oh, yeah. Hammer works pretty good. Now for the real test, we're going to see if we can hammer away at some of this cement here and see how well it works there. It's trying. Oh, it's breaking it off. Oh, yeah, I can see it. All right, let's get another bite at it. Our excavator needs a little bit more pressure downward on that piece there. Sweet. Okay. Maybe we might have to take an end off. Like that. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Cool. It did do it. Let's go a little bit more. Oh, it does do it. That is pretty cool, guys. It actually works. Right here, maybe. Let's try that. Oh, yes. Nice. That is cool. Wow, that's pretty cool, guys. You know, a toy excavator with a hammer on that actually works and it broke through the cement. That's pretty cool. Now I'm sure, like everybody else, you know, will it hurt your finger? We'll find out. Ow. Yeah, you know what? It will. You know, guys, I will tell you, yes, it does hurt when you put it on the end of your finger like that, so don't do that if you're wondering what that feels like. If you put that hammer down on your finger, it's probably going to go right through your finger. But this thing does work pretty good. Those are the size cement pieces that we broke off that slab. Pretty cool. Next up, we'll try this grapple and see how well it works with the quick coupler. Okay, first off, we can see that the wire is long enough so we can use the grapple with this quick coupler. Rotation's pretty cool. It does have a stop, so you can only go so far. Same way with the claw, too. Can only go so far and it'll hit the stops. Now you will have to turn that grapple on and off because you can see if you turn it on and leave it go, it's going to keep running up against the stop. Same way when you go to close it. It doesn't shut off automatically. All right, let's try to pick up our remote and see how that goes. The grapple works pretty good. We had no problems picking up the remote. Next up, we'll try this grapple and see how well it works with the quick coupler. The grapple opens and closes really well. It doesn't spin, it doesn't have that feature, but I wouldn't use it with the quick coupler because this wire here is too short, and I'll show you what I mean. So you can see I don't have this grapple fully extended yet, and the wire is already too tight. Soon it's going to rip it right out of this plug here, so you don't want to use this grapple with the quick coupler. Next, we'll try the claw. The claw hooks up just fine, and the wire is long enough to fit inside the socket. Now we'll test it out. Now we'll see if the claw can pick up this hex driver. Sorry to say, I did try to make this attachment here work. It does spin fine, but the claw no longer works. When I went to pick up the tool, it clamped around it really nice, and then I heard a clicking sound, and what happened was it sheared the gears off inside because I took it apart to see what had happened to it. So kind of a bummer there that I can't use this attachment here, but all the other attachments do work. All right, guys, so my final thoughts on this Huina 1580 excavator. The latest version, you know, this thing looks really good. I love how the guards wrap around the cab. You know, the door opens up so you can see inside at the interior. It's a metal die-cast working model. How cool is that? So die-cast collectors are going to buy this, and they got a remote control to go with it, so they can actually operate it just like the real thing. What's not cool about that, right? The price is $560 at the time of this video. That is very affordable, guys, because, you know, these things can get into the thousands of dollars. Not everybody wants to spend thousands of dollars on an RC excavator because they just don't use it a lot, maybe. I don't know. But you can take this, set it on your Tamiya Grand Hauler or your King Hauler on a lowboy trailer, drive it around the Cabin Fever show like I'm going to this year, and it's going to look really cool. And everybody's going to look at this attachment and go, oh, man, he's got a hammer on his excavator. How neat is that? So, you know, all the attachments you get with this thing, that really does make it worthwhile price-wise, so I do like that. You know, the downside of this machine right here, I found out that the cylinders going to the boom are plastic, and you got to be careful because they can break. I found that out on one of the attachments. One of the attachments have plastic cylinders. I actually broke one pulling it out of the box, so I was kind of bummed out about that. I ended up fixing it, no big deal. The cylinders on the boom and on this dipper arm are metal, so they look pretty strong there. You shouldn't have to worry about that. The hammer, oh man, is that cool. That thing works just awesome. So, I mean, yeah, you got a working, good-looking excavator for a great price. It's going to be hard to beat, in my opinion. Definitely pick one up. Now, I will tell you, some things happened, you know, when I got this. I think the radio was damaged in shipping. If you see these switches stick up pretty high, they stick up into foam in the box there. I think during shipping, getting banged around, something pressed really hard on the box and knocked my switch right into the radio. So I had to fix this switch before I could use this excavator. No big deal. I can see past that, right? Another thing that didn't work was this wire here, well, the plug that operates all the attachments. I found out that I actually had to take that apart and fix the plug so the attachments would work. You know, to me, that's not very good quality there, but hey, no big deal. I fixed it. I can do stuff like that. I got it working again because I wanted to show you guys how everything works. But I also want to be honest with you guys that I ran into some problems with it. You know, you're getting something shipped to you, so things do happen in shipping. I do understand that. No big deal. I got past it all. What I wasn't happy with was this attachment right here. First time I used it, it broke, so this does me no good now. Now, would I buy one of these excavators? yes, like I said, the price is great at $560 because these excavators can get up to a couple $1,000s. So this is well worth the money. I'll leave a link in the description where you can buy one. Go check it out. See if you want to get one yourself. You're going to see a lot of these at the Cabin Fever show in Lebanon, Pennsylvania. I'll definitely have this out there sitting on my Grand Hauler. It's going to look very cool driving around the show. I'm Mark with the Oval RC. We'll see you next time.